Hi everyone, in this video we will create a CRUD app using React with Redux. Okay, so it will be the end result that we have. Let's for example create a new user and let's assign outcome submitted. So the new record has created. Okay, ID number 4 and new record has created. So let's edit it. Let's update it. See, the record has updated. Let's delete it. The record has deleted. Okay, so we will perform this operation using React with Redux toolkit. So let's get started. So for this CRUD operation, first of all we should install those important packages that we will use in this project. So let's come here. We will install npm install React Redux. This is the first package, and the second one is the art Redux JS/toolkit. It is the second one that we will use, Redux JS toolkit. The toolkit provides us a function which has the collection, which is the collection of all things. Okay, we will later discuss that. And also Bootstrap for designing and React Router DOM for routing. So these are the packages that we will install. So I have already installed them. Let's see them. See package.json. I have all of these. Okay, so after installing these, so first we will set up our Redux environment. Okay, to use the Redux, what we need and what we will do. The first thing is that we should use the provider for all our components, okay, to access the store. So we will come to the main.js. I have created this component. Okay, the main, it is the main component in our React app. Okay, and app.js, create, home and update. We will perform these operations. First come to the main.jsx. First we will import the provider from our React Redux. Okay, the provider that we will wrap all our component through this provider. Okay, let's use it. How to use this provider? Just come here, provider, and just cut it and paste it here. All our component will be inside the provider, and now this provider has a property by the name of store. Okay, so to this store we should pass a store. Okay, in that store we will store all our data, public data that we would like to store in that. So how to use that? For that we will just import. So for that we will configure store. Okay, Redux JS toolkit, we will import this one from that. Okay, after importing to configure store, so now we will use that. So to use that we will simply write const store is equal to configure store, and we will pass to this the reducers. Okay, we will pass all our reducer to this configure store. The reducers that we have, for example, right now we would like to create the users. We have a reducer for the users. If we have another module like teacher, student and something else, you should create another user reducer for that. So now we just have the user reducer. So we will simply write like this. So right now we didn't set up the user reducer. I will comment it. Okay, so let's pass the store to this store. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Now this functionality has done with us. Just later we will import our user whenever we create that reducer. Okay, so now let's create this reducer. Okay, so let's create another file, user reducer .jsx. so here we will use the slicer function which is provided by the Redux JS toolkit. Let's import that, create slice. Yeah, we will import this function from this Redux JS toolkit. This function is a collection of all. We will pass to this name and the initial values and all the reducers and action state. Everything is inside this function. So now let's use it. So const user slice is equal to create slice, and we will pass this first of all the name. What is the name of this one? For example, the first one is the user with us, and the initial value for this, the initial state, we will pass the initial state to this, and also the reducers. Okay, here we will write our actions, and here we will pass the initial values. Yeah, for this initial state I wrote some data statically. Okay, this data file, we have this data, a list of users, so let's import it in the user reducer, user list. After importing it, so let's assign it to our initial state. We will write like user list. Okay, so now let's move to our home page and we should render these users. Okay, it means that we should display these users on our home page. So let's come here. Yeah, I will just try some design for this using Bootstrap. So I wrote this code, okay, for home page. So now let's render our user list here. Okay, we will display our data here. This is just the header that we created, and here we will render our data. So to use this data, it means that this initial state, this user list. So let's first of all we should import user. Let's import use selector hook. Okay, use selector hook from React Redux. Okay, it will give us the access to this. Let's come here to the main, to this reducer. Okay, that we have. So after importing this, so now let's use it. Const users is equal to, we will use selector hook, and inside this we will have a state, and we will use it state.users, the reducer that we have here. Okay, in our main.js, this reducer dot users. Okay, so it's okay. So now let's assign a reducer to this. So let's first of all come here and we will import export default user slice dot reducer. Yeah, after exporting it, let's import it in our main.js. User, let's import user reducer from user reducer. Okay, we have imported it. So now let's assign it to our user. Let's uncomment this and we will assign that here. Yeah, we assigned that here. So now we can access these users inside using this use selector hook. So whenever we access this, so now let's first of all console it. Console.log users that we have. Okay, this user that we have. So let's run our server, how it looks like. Let's run npm run do. So let's move to this URL. See, it looks like this. Okay, so let's move to the console, which we have specified. See, we have this array. See, we have this records, those 3 records. So now let's display them. So to display them, let's come here. We will just use map function users dot map, and here we have user and in index we will just return a table row, and the index, the key for this is the index, and inside it we will just use table data, and here we will just write a user dot, first we will display the id, user dot id, and also the name, then the email. After that, for this action we will create 2 buttons. Okay, for the edit and delete. This will be edit. Let's assign a class name to this button sm, and button primary. These are the Bootstrap classes. So let's delete, for the delete, create one another. Delete, and this would be danger. Okay, margin start would be 2. Yeah, let's check it how it looks like. Yeah, it looks like this. Good. Okay, so we rendered the data. So now whenever we click this create, we should go to another component, and here we should create another user. Okay, so for that we will use React router DOM. Okay, React router DOM, whenever we click this, we should go to create component. So let's come to app.js. We will use our React router DOM here. Import browser router, then routes and route, and come here, just remove this. Let's use browser router. Inside that we will use routes. Inside that we will use route, and this route for this route, this is for home. Okay, the path parameter is equal to just slash and element is equal to with home. This is the home, and let's create for a create component. Okay, let's assign this, and this would be create. So let's come here to the create and write something. Yeah, this is the create. Let's import it. Sorry, let's come here. Yeah, we imported it, so let's assign it now here instead of home. Yeah, now let's use our link here. Instead of button, we should change it to the link React Router DOM property. Okay, that has imported from React Router DOM, and also we should use two property, and we should assign here the route create that we had here. Okay, this create route. Okay, so now whenever we click this button create plus, we should go to the create component. See, we have came here. So now we should display here a form. So to fill that, we should create a new user. So let's come here to the create, and we will create a form here. So I have created this form, input field for name and input field for email, and a submit button. So now let's check it how it looks like. Yeah, it looks like this. So let's add some text here. Add a new user. Yeah, it's okay. It looks like pretty good. So now whenever we enter the data, so we should by pressing the submit, we should create a new user. So let's come here. Just we should assign a placeholder here. Name, and also placeholder here, enter email. So first we should store these values. Okay, when we are writing some value in this input field, and in this we should store them somewhere. So let's do that. Const name set name is equal to use state hook for that to store the value. By default nothing, and also this would be for email, and set email. And after that let's store the values in that. So for that, let's come here on change event, and we will use create a function and set name e.target.value, and the same thing we will write for email. Let's copy this. Sorry, just come here and paste it. Instead of set name, we will write set email. Yeah, it is done. We stored our values in name and email. After storing that, whenever we press the submit button, we should call a function. Let's come here to add a submit event, and we will call handle submit. Let's create this function here. Okay, const handle submit is equal to get in event. Let's create this function event.prevent default. It will prevent the default submission, and after that we will just use a reducer. Okay, we will use in action. We will create in action here, and we will call that from this function, handle submit function. Let's first of all create a new reducer here. That would be add user, and we should get a state from that in action. And here we will just update our user list. So let's console our action. Okay, console.log action, what we are getting in action. So let's use this add user action. So first of all, we should import it, export and const. Let's add user is equal to user slice dot actions. We will export it from actions. Yeah, let's import it at the create functionality first. Add user. Yeah, import it from user reducer. And also we should import dispatch let's simply write use dispatch. Okay, dispatch from React Redux, and to dispatch in action let's use that const dispatch is equal to use dispatch, and after that let's use it. Here we will write and we imported add user, so let's write dispatch add user, and we will pass an object to this. The object will contain ID and a name and email. Okay, we can simply write assign name to name and email to email. We will assign this name and email to this name and email. Okay, but we can simply just write per shorthand like this. Okay, just email and name. Okay, but for the ID should be unique with us. Okay, so to get the unique list, it means that to add a unique ID, it means for example we have now 3 records. To add the 4th one, so for that we will first of all get the length of these users, and after that we will add 1 to that. So to get the length we will use selector hook. Use selector hook, we imported that, and we will just use as how we like this. We will just use copy that and paste it here. Now we will just access the length of our users. So to access that we will just write something like this. Okay, users dot length -1. Okay, because based on indexing we should -1 from that, dot id +1. Okay, we will access the length of the IDs, then we will plus 1 with that. Okay, so let's press this submit button. What happened? Let's come here. Let's enter a name. Okay, we have entered that. So let's press the submit button. We should go to our console. What we are getting in the result. Let's come here. Let's press submit. See, in the action we got this. Okay, type in the payload. In the payload we got email, ID and name. Okay, this is the result that we printed here. Okay, in the user reducer console.log. Okay, as we have printed here. So now we should directly assign state dot push action dot payload. We will push our payload to this state. Okay, this user list, and after that whenever we push that we should go back to our home page. So for that let's come here to the home page. We will use navigate hook from React Outer DOM. So to use that we will just simply write, let's remove this. Okay, simply write const navigate is equal to use navigate, that has imported from React Outer DOM, and let's use it now. Oh sorry, we should use it in the create component. Let's come here, let's import it here. React Outer DOM use navigate, that has imported. Okay, so let's use it now. After that we should navigate back to our home route. Okay, to this route, to our home component. So let's try it. Let's enter, for example, let's remove this, enter a name and enter a name, email. Let's submit it. See, we came here and a new record has added here, the 4th one. Okay, the ID is 4th and the new record has added. Let's try another one. Just use it. Submit it. See, the 5th record has added to our list. So now we did our functionality of creation. So now whenever we press this edit, we should edit a record. So let's come here for that, and come here to the home, and come here to this button. This should be link. Okay, we should go to in edit update component. By clicking on that, we should assign a link to this, and link should be imported from React Outer DOM. Okay, that has imported, and let's use 2 is equal to, we should go to edit, and also we should pass an ID to that. So to pass the ID we will write like this. Okay, let's change this like this, and we will pass our id with that user.id. Yeah, we passed our id with this route. Let's create this route now. Come here and just copy this, and this should be edit, and after edit we are getting an id. We will write like this. Yeah, this is the route for that. Let's use the update component. Update. Let's come here to update, write something in that. Yeah, let's come here and import that. Update from update. It is okay now. So now we should, whenever we click on the update edit, we should go to edit component. Okay, we came here. Now we should create a forum for that, and inside that forum we should get the values. So let's first of all create a forum for that. Let's come here. The forum is the same to create as we have created. Okay, the same forum we will use. We will just copy this. Okay, let's just copy this one. We will use the same forum here, and whenever we come here, just let's remove it. Okay, let's remove this, and also remove this, and remove this, and submit. Okay, let's update user, and this should be update. Yeah, let's check it. Yeah, let's check it now. Yeah, it looks like that, update user. So we should now get the values. Okay, the user that we would like to update, we should get the name and the email for that. So to get that, let's come here, and we should first of all grab the id from parameter. So to grab the id, we will use forum hook from React router DOM. We will write like this: const id is equal to use forum hook. We will take the id from the router. Okay, see this id, the one that we have. After getting this, so now we will again come here, and we will get all the users list as we have get it here. Using use selector hook, we will get all the users. So let's import use selector. That has imported, and we will get all the users. So now we will just, let's come here, and here we will write, so const existing user is equal to, now we will use filter function. Okay, users dot filter if dot id was equal to with the id that we as. Okay, whenever the record, take that record which has the id that we have passed. Okay, just take that record and assign that to here, and just let's write, take the name and email from existing user. Okay, we will just, it is an array with us, so we will just write 0. Okay, from this array it will return an array. So from this, the first record access get the name and the email. So now let's write two variables as we had in create. Okay, as we had here, let's copy this, and we will create them here, and we will assign by default the name here and also the email. And let's change this update name and update email. Okay, so now let's check it that let's assign here the values. Value is equal to with the uname, update name, and also here value is equal to with the update email. Let's check it now. Where is the error? Use state hook is not imported, so let's import it. Use state hook, that has imported. Use selector has imported. Yeah, I think there is nothing else. Let's check it. Where is the error? Yeah, where is the error? Let's come here. Cannot distract property name of existing user as it is undefined. So let's come here. Filter if dot id was equal to with the id. Yes, so first of all we should correct this name. Okay, this name was misspelled. Okay, after that let's remove one equal from this. Okay, so it will work now. Let's check it. See, we have this. Okay, we have this the the first one, let's back and press for example on this one. See, we have that. So now whenever we update this, so we should let's update our values here. Okay, whenever we are unchanging, unchange event we will call, and unchange is equal to, we will create a function and we will call set name. I think set name, and e dot target dot value, we will pass this value and also to the email. Let's come here, after that set email. So whenever we change the value and press the update button, so we should again update our records. Okay, for the updation we will come here and we will create a new action here. So before that, let's come here to the update. Let's bring it here, and here we will whenever we press this button, we should call a function. Just come here and submit handle update. Let's create this function now. Const control P, update is equal to, we will get an event, create this function. By default prevent default submission, and after that again we will call the edit user or update user action. So let's create that update user. We will get a state and action. Let's import it, export it, like this. After exporting this, let's import it here as we have imported. So let's import it, user update user. Okay, that has imported. Update user has imported, and also let's say import use dispatch, that has also imported. Let's use dispatch. Const dispatch is equal to use dispatch, and after that we will use that here now. So here we will just use dispatch, and we will use update user action, and we will pass an object to that. First of all, the id is the id that we have. Okay, this id that we grabbed, and the name is the update name, and also the email is the update email. That we have this name and update email. So whenever we call this, so now let's come here back to user reducer. What we will do here now, so first of all we will distract the id, const id and name and also email from action.payload. After grabbing that, so let's find the updating user. So we will write a const updating user is equal to state dot find user dot id was equal to with the id that we have. Okay, find that record which has the id same to this id, and after that if it was existed, so just update the name of this to the name that we distracted, and also dot email is equal to with the email that we have. And whenever we update the record, so after updating, let's use navigation hook. Const navigate is equal to use navigate. We will use this hook to go back to home. Navigate and back go to home component, to home route. So let's check it. Let's come here. We have this. Let's update, for example, for the second one. Edit it, Khalid Khan, and let's edit Khalid Khan. Okay, let's update it. See, the record has updated here. Okay, it was all about updation. So now whenever we press the delete, so we should delete a record. So let's come here to the home component and to the delete button. Whenever we click this, so we should delete a record. So whenever we click on this, on click we will handle delete we will create this function now, and also we should pass id to this function. Okay, let's create a row function and let's pass the id to user.id. we will pass it to the handle function. So let's create that now. Let's come here, just const is equal to, we will get the id, and here we will just call a dispatch. Let's use the dispatch. Const dispatch is equal to use dispatch that has imported. Okay, and we will use the dispatch, and we should call the delete action. So let's create that. Let's come here down, delete user state and action, and here we will just delete the user, and we will just write the same code like this, but this time we will just grab the id, and whenever we find the existing user, so if it was existed, we come here, let's just filter that. So to filter that, we will use state dot, so we will return state dot filter, and this if dot id was not equal to with the id that we have, just filter those record which has not the id same. Okay, filter other records. Yeah, so let's export it, delete user, and we will import it in the home component, delete user after importing it. So let's use it now. We'll use dispatch, and we will pass delete user, and we will pass an object. We should have just the id. So let's try it now. Let's, for example, press the delete. See, that has the record has deleted. Okay, let's create submit it, that has it deleted, date, updated, deleted. So it was all about CRUD operation with the in the React and Redux. We use the Redux toolkit. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, like this video, and comment down. And finally, thanks for watching.